So power outage situation here in London. No power, no fridge, no freezer, no electrics, no street lighting. Ideal.
Hello and welcome to Next Day Solar. In December of 2021, hundreds of thousands of people in the north of England were without power for over a week. Those people had no central heating in the home, no lights, no electricity, and it really was a very difficult time for all those impacted. It got us thinking here at Next Day Solar that even if the electricity is off, why can't the heating be on? So at least people in their homes weren't wrapped up in layers and layers of clothes and shivering to keep warm. The central heating system of any home uses less than 70 watts of energy, which is a very small amount of energy. And with a simple backup generator, people could have kept the heating on with a gas supply while the electricity companies were doing such a fabulous job of getting the power back on. In this video, we'll take you through a few basic steps that one can take to set up a very simple backup generator in your home so that if you have a power cut in the future, you can keep the essential things that you require, including your heating system, going.
We've got a power cut in my street where I live. You can see there's no power out, all the lights are out, all the street lights are out.
Having had a power cut recently myself, which you'll have seen in this video, I now wish that I would have had this system installed. Today we're going to install the backup generator system into this home and make sure that when the lights go out and there's no longer electricity, the home keeps warm.
My house.
In order to keep your home or your property going when the power goes out, there's 3 steps you need to take. The first is to get your power company to come in and install an isolator to your fuse board so that you can actually safely work on your fuse board without power coming into it. So the first part you've seen today already has now been complete. That's the fitting of the isolator. That will allow us to take power off, which means that we can then upstream of the power coming into the home fit our changeover device that will then allow power to either come from the DNO supply or from a generator supply flowing into the fuse board to essentially keep that heating going when there might be a power cut in the future or when someone else is working on the electrical system. So I'm now going to test to make sure that when I do have a small battery backup system in place that my home will be okay and my home can carry on going. Now for that, at the moment, I'll look at my smart meter and check, and I'm currently drawing 800 watts of energy, which is quite a lot of energy. And if I'm going to use one of these small battery backup power systems to keep my heating on for a period of time, I need to make sure that my energy consumption is within the rating of what this is. Now this is a 300 watt output AC inverter, so I'm clearly not going to be able to give the home everything that it needs currently now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn everything off on my consumer board except the essential services, which is for me the water heater and the central heating system. And in doing that, I'll be able to check how much energy I'm needing for that to ensure that when I purchase this device or when I switch over and have my energy switch installed, I'll be able to power the home's essential needs. So let's turn off all the things that we don't need. Leaving the central heating on. Everything's off, and we'll just give the smart meter a minute. It takes a few seconds to adjust to the energy consumption of the home. And we've just left on the water heater and the central heating system, and you can see it's come right down to 143 watts. My boiler's still on, we'll have a look at that. We'll just go and check that. So we can still see my boiler is on over here, and the controls around the home that control the heating system are also on. So we've completed that test. We know the home's consuming 128 watts of energy when it's just got the heating system on. So we know that a 300 watt inverter is going to be more than enough to keep my home going just with the basic things such as the water heating system and the heating systems around the home. The second step is to install a suitably rated changeover switch. And this will island your home, which is a legal requirement in the United Kingdom if you are using a generator of any type or sort. So you'll be able to island your home from the grid and switch over to your generator so that when the power goes out, with a flick of the switch, you can put your generator on. So I just wanted to briefly introduce the changeover switch. There's 3 parts to it. You've got your generator input, which is coming here, and that will come from our generator here. So I'm going to be fitting 3-pin plug, which is going to slot into the generator and wire that into the generator in on the changeover switch. Then we'll have our mains in, which is coming from our DNO supply, and then our load out, which is going to run to our fuse board. And that way you've got 2 feeds in, you've got your mains and your generator, and your single feed out to your home's power supply. third step is to have a suitable generator. There are lots of battery systems out there. Of course, you could have combustion generators as well, but we're interested in small, compact, user-friendly and affordable generators that mean that for a number of hours, if the power goes out, you can keep your heating going, your broadband going, some basic lights, perhaps a television, some of the essential things that you might need to keep your creature comforts close to you when the power's off. Okay, so we're ready to do a test now. We've been hard at work, completing all the steps. This is the third and final step. So we're going to be taking our 300 watt generator. We've got the system switched to mains off, on generator. We've isolated anything other than the critical loads. You can see all that's dead. And let's see.